Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book, No Logo, a creation by Naomi Klein. No Logo examines the rise of brand power since the 1980s, highlighting companies shifting focus from products to brand identity. It explores the impact of this approach on workers worldwide and introduces activists fighting against multinational corporations and their brands. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Naomi Klein, an acclaimed Canadian writer and journalist, has contributed to publications like the Statesman, the New York Times, and Newsweek International. Besides No Logo, a finalist for the Guardian First Book Award, she is also the author of The Shock Doctrine, The Rise of Disaster Capitalism. With 10 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, brands seek to be perceived as cool by tapping into youth subcultures for inspiration and ideas. Brands often rely on being perceived as cool to succeed, especially by targeting the youth market. To achieve this, companies study youth cultures and incorporate trends like punk, grunge, and hip-hop into their brand images. This strategy has been particularly successful, with brands like Nike and Tommy Hilfiger aligning themselves with these subcultures to influence what is considered cool. Black culture has also been commodified by brands for profit, leading communities to follow their lead as brands dictate trends and ideals. Key idea number 1. Brands need to constantly evolve to thrive and survive. Brands permeate our lives through constant marketing and advertising to stay relevant and connect with consumers. Staying current with trends is crucial to prevent consumer disinterest and maintain success. Levi Strauss's decline illustrates the importance of updating strategies, as a brand's popularity often outweighs product quality in driving sales. Brands must be visible across all aspects of society and constantly innovate to survive in a competitive market. Key idea number 2. Brand success relates more to brand identity than the actual product. In the late 1980s, many believed the era of branded products was ending, with consumers focused on price over brand loyalty. However, brands have since gained power and prestige through marketing and cultivating their image rather than solely selling products. Successful brands today rely on their name, logo, and values to appeal to consumers emotionally and spiritually rather than rationally. Nike is an example of a brand that invests in advertising and positioning itself as a promoter of healthy lifestyles and empowerment, rather than just selling sports gear. Brand success now hinges more on identity than product quality. Key idea number 3. Brands employ aggressive tactics to grow their market share by overpowering competitors. Walmart and Starbucks, known for their rapid growth and success, employ different business models to dominate the market. Walmart relies on low prices and large stores to force suppliers to lower prices, while Starbucks uses clustering to saturate areas with its stores. High-end brands like Diesel and Tommy Hilfiger opt for branded superstores that serve as advertisements. All these brands use aggressive tactics to expand and eliminate competition. Key idea number 4. Multinational companies relocate their manufacturing operations to developing countries, leading to negative impacts on the local workforce. Multinational companies have adopted the Nike model by outsourcing manufacturing to less developed countries to reduce labor costs. Workers in these countries, mainly young migrant women, face poor working conditions, low wages, and lack legal protections like minimum wages and union rights. Export processing zones encourage investment by suspending taxes and labor laws. This system leads to the exploitation of workers and has negative consequences for developing nations. Key idea number 5. Outsourcing of jobs in the Western world has negatively affected employees. The rise of outsourcing in the 1980s led to multinational companies seeking to cut labor costs by employing overseas contractors instead of local manufacturing. This shift resulted in the decline of well-paid, full-time permanent jobs with good working conditions and the rise of part-time, poorly paid service sector roles known as McJobs. Outsourcing impacted Western economies by replacing manufacturing jobs with less stable service sector employment, discouraging union membership, lowering work satisfaction, and creating a cynical workforce with low loyalty towards employers. Key idea number 6. Certain brands becoming more dominant will restrict consumer choice. In 1994, Viacom acquired Paramount Pictures and Blockbuster Video, creating synergy where films they produce can profit in various platforms. This synergy trend involves corporations combining interconnected brands, expanding into new markets. However, as dominant brands like Walmart can influence content and choices, they can limit consumer options. Viacom, through its acquisitions, now wields significant power over film distribution, potentially limiting choices for consumers. Key idea number 7. Brands seeking growth and profits have unintentionally become prime targets for activists. Activist campaigns target brands for practices like sweatshops, eco-unfriendly actions, or unethical advertising. Brands have surpassed governments as focal points for criticism due to increased cultural and economic influence. Multinationals wield significant power without the same constraints as governments, leading activists to demand accountability. Brands are now central to our lives and emotional attachments, making them major subjects for activism against malpractices. Key idea number 8. Critiquing multinational corporations through targeting and undermining specific brands can be a powerful strategy. Brands hold significant cultural influence, striving for attention in various aspects of society. Brand names and logos are deeply ingrained in our consciousness. This cultural ubiquity can be used against companies through activist campaigns, such as linking well-known brands to critical causes like labor exploitation. Culture jamming is another tactic where activists alter brand images and slogans to convey opposing messages, effectively critiquing multinational corporations. In conclusion, the book highlights the significant rise in brand power since the 1980s, pointing out that brands' influence has overshadowed manufacturing and products. It discusses the reasons behind brands' dominance, the effects of marketing triumphing over products, and the activism against multinational brands. Brands target youth culture, need constant innovation to survive, prioritize image over product quality, employ aggressive tactics to grow, outsource manufacturing to developing countries, impact workers globally, limit consumer choices, and become primary targets for activists seeking to challenge multinationals. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.